My name's Donna Dunaway, and my husband Doran has Parkinson's disease. We've known about it for quite some time. I would say about 8 years, even though he wasn't formally diagnosed until 5 years ago. I'm a registered pharmacist, and I remember the day in class in pharmacy school that I learned about Parkinson's disease, and it is bizarre. It's like it happened yesterday. I remember sitting in the classroom and the professor talking about this disease, and I was just glued to my seat listening about this disease. I had never met anyone with Parkinson's. This was before the notoriety of Michael J. Fox. Had never seen anyone with symptoms, didn't know anything about it. And little did I know that some 30 plus years later that I would have to learn a lot more than what I thought I knew as a pharmacist. When he would take the L-Dopa, that sometimes it would help him. I didn't realize when he had an off phase how devastating it felt for him to be in an off period. And there was no way to judge by a clock how long the drug would last, when he should take his next dosage. When we first started him on medication, it would be 3 times a day, and then we would go for a follow-up visit. Well, how are you doing? Well, there are periods of the day at work that I'll have meetings, I'm not feeling good. Well, can you take it every 2 hours? Can you take it? And, you know, being a pharmacist, I know myself, if I'm on an antibiotic 3 times a day, it's hard for me to space it out and remember, hey, it's time to take my medicine again. So I can't even imagine the difficulty of trying to live your life, working a full-time job, and manage dosing your medication when it's so variable, and there's really no way to know from one day to the next how you're going to feel. With Doran, when he would take the Cinnamate, I could tell when it would wear off. He would start getting his lip pulled down to one side. His mouth just didn't look normal. He would be extremely fatigued. It was almost like dealing with the tremor was better than the side effects of coming off the drugs. From the time that he was diagnosed, he just kind of lost his zest for life. Basically, the day that he found out, he curled up on the couch for 2 days in the fetal position. And I mean, as a wife, what can you do? You can't say, honey, everything's going to be okay. I mean, I have a pretty extensive medical education. I know what this disease is, but until you live it firsthand, you have no idea. Well, Doran has always been very active. Growing up, every sport you can imagine he's played. He loves it. He's very competitive. I think that's why sports really appeal to him. And, you know, being 6'8", he kind of stands out in a crowd. He always would go to the gym associated with GHS and work out. After he was diagnosed, he had a lot of problems with coordination, flexibility, core strength. So he was pretty limited to the exercises that he could do. So he settled on a stationary bicycle and did it religiously. But I really didn't see any improvement in his physical or mental state. When Doran first started Speedflex, he came home the first night and told me, I've never seen in the past 5 years. Him, so positive, encouraged, enthusiastic. He told me about the machines, kind of the routine that he went through. He talked with me about the staff in the past. He always tried to hide his disease, almost like he was embarrassed. And the fact that he's 6'8", any little movement that is irregular is really amplified. So for him to feel comfortable around people that he doesn't know, knowing that he has this disease, and he was all right with it. And he wanted to tell me about it, and he couldn't wait to go back. It was amazing. I would say within the first couple weeks, I think the first effects were from a mental perspective. It gave him hope, it gave him enthusiasm, it gave him zest for life. Like, he'd found a pot of gold, and he was excited. He was excited about the next time he got to work out. Doran's biggest challenge is movement, his balance, the gait when he walks, his strength. And with Speedflex, all of those things have been improved. His endurance, his core strength, his flexibility, all of those things have improved, and none of those things were affected by the stationary bike. When Doran comes home from working out at ASI or with the Speedflex program, it's like having the old Doran back. He comes in, he's in his workout clothes, he's carrying his gym bag. He goes, "Oh, you don't believe the workout I had today. I did 2 rounds of the sand hills, or I did 4 reps on the one machine." And it's kind of like turning back the clock. It's like seeing him coming home after being at the gym. He just seems like the old Doran. It wasn't the Doran that was on the couch in a fetal position with his eyes closed thinking there's no hope, there's no future. I don't see anything helping people with movement disorders other than here's a prescription. And I know that there's more out there. I've seen the results with Doran and the Speedflex program. I see him coming home excited, saying, "Come here, I can do something you can't. I'm going to do a plank. Look at this. Can you do it?" And I'll say, "Doran, I just worked in the yard. I'm tired. Come on. Let's do 10 of them." And I think it's amazing. I just think it's amazing, the change in him. I can say it's been 1.5 years that Doran has been using the Speedflex program. And has more muscle now than he's ever had. He's always been kind of a tall, lanky guy. And I tease him, I'm going to have to buy you bigger shirts because your chest is getting bigger, your shoulders are getting bigger. He kind of likes that. But it really is true. To me, and I'm not exaggerating, it's like turning back the hands of time. I'm seeing my old Doran back. And for me, that's very exciting. If he can have this level of quality to his life, it's enormous. And if other people could even see half of this benefit, I think it would be so worthwhile. If you're a caregiver and you can have either your husband, wife, sister, mother, father, whoever you know with Parkinson's, go and try Speedflex. Just try it, because they're not going to get hurt. They're not going to be sore after a workout. All I have seen is benefits. I haven't seen any drawbacks. I haven't seen anything negative that I can tell you about. Before, Doran did not want to really go out, socialize, do anything after work. He was exhausted. He didn't feel well. On the weekends, he didn't have much energy. Now I say, hey, let's go out to dinner with another couple. He's like, okay, what time? Are jeans, can I wear jeans? That's the biggest thing. Well, can I wear my jeans? But it's really made a difference in my life. I think that it can really make a difference in everyone's life, that if they're just willing to give it a try. And as a caregiver, of course, I want what's best for Doran. But we're a couple. I mean, everything that affects him affects me. And anything that makes his life easier, that makes his health better, makes my life better, makes my health better, mental health. So, I'm encouraged. I'm more optimistic. I have hope.